Most people think deserts are empty, but that belief shatters the moment you realize the Great Victoria Desert is quietly crawling, leaping, slithering, and watching. If you stood still long enough, you'd feel eyes on you before you ever saw a body, because survival here favors the unseen. One of the first creatures you'd unknowingly pass is the red kangaroo, built like the desert itself. Efficient, relentless, and deceptively calm. It doesn't waste energy. Every bound is calculated, every pause deliberate, conserving strength as if it knows the land could turn hostile without warning. In this place, endurance isn't a trait, it's a rule. Then there's the dingo, moving through the desert like a rumor that never quite disappears. You rarely see it head-on. Instead, you catch a silhouette at dawn or hear a call stretch across the cooling sand at night. Dingoes don't just survive the Great Victoria Desert, they organize it. Their presence shapes the balance between prey and predator, and their intelligence makes them feel less like animals and more like strategists pacing an invisible chessboard of spinifex and salt flats. Closer to the ground, the parenti lizard claims dominance in a different way. It's massive, fast, and armed with claws and teeth that remind you this is no harmless reptile. When a parenti decides to move, the desert seems to part for it. Birds scatter, smaller animals vanish into burrows, and even seasoned predators reconsider their choices. It's a reminder that size still matters here, but only when paired with speed and confidence. If you think snakes own the desert, the western brown snake quickly proves you right. It doesn't need drama or display. It relies on precision. One wrong step, one careless reach, and the desert delivers its most dangerous lesson. What makes this snake truly unsettling isn't just its venom, but how easily it blends into the background, turning ordinary sand into a threat you never see coming. In the Great Victoria Desert, danger rarely announces itself. As the heat peaks, another survivor takes center stage beneath the sand, the thorny devil. It looks like something imagined rather than evolved, covered in spikes and shaped like a warning sign. But every spine has a purpose. It channels moisture toward its mouth, harvesting life from the smallest traces of dew. Watching a thorny devil feels like witnessing a masterclass in adaptation, proof that the desert rewards creativity as much as strength. When night falls, the desert changes its cast. The bilby emerges, ears tall and alert, digging with a focus that feels almost desperate. Once widespread, now fragile, the bilby carries the weight of survival differently. Every burrow it creates is shelter not just for itself, but for the soil, plants, and insects that depend on its digging. In a land this harsh, even small creatures can shape entire ecosystems. Not all desert hunters rely on speed or venom. The mulga snake moves with patience that borders on arrogance. It knows the heat better than most reptiles and uses it as an ally. While others retreat, it thrives, hunting when competitors can't. Its calm presence feels unsettling, as if the desert itself decided to grow fangs and glide silently through the scrub. High above, the wedge-tailed eagle patrols the Great Victoria Desert like a living shadow. Its wingspan is so vast, it seems to borrow space from the sky itself. From that height, nothing escapes its notice. Kangaroos, lizards, even other predators become part of its calculations. When it dives, it does so with absolute certainty, a reminder that the desert doesn't just test survival on the ground, but in the air as well. Hidden among rocks and scrub, the southern marsupial mole lives a life few ever witness. Nearly blind, perfectly shaped for burrowing, it spends most of its existence beneath the surface, swimming through sand as if it were water. Its secrecy feels intentional, like a creature that opted out of the chaos above. In a land defined by extremes, sometimes the smartest move is disappearing entirely. And then there's the camouflaged ghost of the desert, the great desert skink. Social, intelligent, and surprisingly communal, it builds complex burrow systems shared across generations. This isn't a lone survivor. It's a reminder that cooperation can be just as powerful as isolation. In one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth, these skinks prove that community can be a survival strategy. Taken together, these 10 creatures tell a story the desert never speaks out loud. The Great Victoria Desert isn't empty, and it isn't cruel without reason. It's selective. Every animal here has passed a silent test, shaped by heat, scarcity, and time. If you listen closely, the desert isn't warning you to leave. It's daring you to notice who truly belongs.